The Nigerian backyard is the totality of our society. That thing that is happening, and you saw it in the police, and you said, "Oh, call me." It crossed and was happening in the custom. "Oh, call me." Now it has come everybody. And cool everybody, the backyard of each and every one of us is the country in which we live. So today's Sunday school is the Yoruba, centered on the Yoruba scripture. Okan everybody. It is everybody's fight. It is not just for one person. But what is happening in the Middle East, Gaza particularly, would be affecting us in Nigeria. It would affect us in the cost of the fuel that we'll be paying. We're importing. So if we're importing and they have to continue stealing, and even though subsidy has been removed, subsidy has been restored, quote and unquote, we don't know which is which, the prices would affect us. Point I want to make is this. If Hamas is a terrorist organization, and I believe it is, and what it did in Israel on October 7th, in spite of whatever justification it might offer, was terroristic in the extreme. However, what Israel has proceeded to do in Gaza is nothing short of genocide. Our common humanity demands that we must speak these truths. But the reality is that Nigeria is anything but a nation. It is even hardly a country. Nigeria is a state without citizens. But it is critical that we examine the state of this state, this dystopian nightmare that we call our country, the land of our birth, and in most cases, the land of our captivity. And that you have escaped does not mean that you have escaped the captivity of Nigeria, because Nigeria is insidious. It lives in you, it's inside of you. Some of you are in Finland. I know some. There is a gentleman always coming in from the UK, somewhere around, I think, somewhere in London. I see him Anslo sometimes. He tells me, oh, he's here from Anslo. They are the ones who are most current about what is going on in Nigeria, because Nigeria eats into you. Even when you've escaped, you can't really escape Nigeria. So it is critical that we examine the state of what is essentially the prison of our lives, whether that's the physical or mental. Nigeria is essentially a prison for the Nigerian. It is not a country. It is not a homeland. It's not a motherland or a fatherland. It fathers nobody, and it's certainly not a mother unless they're talking about murderers. So at the end of the day, Nigeria has a territory, but it has no citizens. As urgent as our issues are, the legislators found time to approve all kinds of horrible, wicked expenditures, and they were praying monies into mail boxes to cushion the hardship of those who are already living the buttered life. In a season when, in one sentence, a man unelected by us but forced upon us had declared hardship, summarily removing subsidy. I don't know who is subsidizing who. We subsidizing them, but they removed subsidy. In the midst of all of this, while Nigerians were still groaning with no palliative of any sort in sight, they were making fun of the poor. Let the poor breathe. That is the state of the legislature, completely useless and unfit for purpose. The only thing the legislature is doing is taking care of their own kind, provision and appropriating monies to ensure that the rulers are kept in style. So, the legislature is of no use to me and you. The diarrhea of the monkey has proven not to be the concern of the baboon as far as the legislators are concerned. The man who is the sum of the parts of each and every one of our winners is the one that is sat at the top of the pile today. Bola Ahmed Tinubu, or the man known as Bola Ahmed Tinubu, has a lot of baggages around his neck. But I will go as far as to say that there is no president that has sat in that office that didn't carry one bit or the other or something similar to what this one is carrying. So if you focus on this person, yes, it's very odious. You will be missing the point. The point is that the system can only produce the worst because the system is designed to produce exactly that. That is why you find them binding together to produce the very best of them. So today, the state of our executives is that we have thieves, legally ensconced in power. But I have not talked about our judiciary. You know, I am told that the judiciary, but we recited it so many times, it became a mantra. The judiciary is the last hope of the common man. Common man. And it's not something that happened during the election cycle. It's been there. It's been like that. Long before Bola Ahmed Tinubu showed up in the presidential election, the Nigerian judiciary had been sufficiently lost. Don't take my word for it. Olumide Akpata was busy at the International Bar Association conference. That's the former MPA chairman. He was busy. He had a lot to say. You might want to go take a listen. And then there was Justice Datijo, 47 years in the judiciary. There's nothing I have to say today that he didn't say already at his own valedictory. I had an interview with Arise TV long before there was a Peter Obi presidential bid. And I was asked a specific question, my opinion of the current CJN of Nigeria. I was clear in declaring his incapacity to deliver anything close to justice. And my reasons were very simple and straightforward. He's incapable of doing so, either for a reason of corruption or incompetence. He has no capacity to deliver justice. There was no Peter Obi at the time. So do not politicize what I'm saying today. So let us be clear. What I am saying is that there is a complete failure of governance, and we're steering a failed state in the eye. But you will go to our churches, you will go to our mosques, and you hear no truths. And even in recent time, they started pressing the traditional Isheshe worshipper into the politics of internal colonization. Orojide Sanwo-Olu was battered by the Oro, under whose guise he was forced on us. So it is not an unfair assessment to make that even the traditional institution is being frog-marched into the fraudulence of the Nigerian state. The ethnic nationalism that is being cloaked in Isheshe must be clear to those who are practitioners, genuine practitioners of Isheshe. A few of you who are familiar with me knows I'm curious about our Isheshe, and I'm trying to study and understand and learn. But I see how they are trying to hide behind Isheshe to foster political interest. So the religious institution is already being compromised. How about theater? Remember that idiot, the one that was busy bathing naked at the bar beach? That's theater. Yes, there are exceptions, but that's the normal. Music, Inko. How many of today's musicians, and I know there are a few, but how many can we listen to the way we listen to Fela and catch inspirations and understanding of civic education? How many? How many? Not too many. But it was critical that you be asked to register, because it is critical that your last hope be taken away, your last hope in the system, your capacity to believe that some change is possible working with this system, that was critical. You had to feel the pain. You had to be connected to hope. You had to be connected to hope. You had to be taken through the process of voters registration, collection of your PVC, in spite of the resistance of the system. It was critical that we connected you, because without you being connected, you will not be as aggrieved as you feel right now, and you will not have come to the knowledge of the fact that you cannot redeem this system by working within this system. You've been connected, and now your hearts have been broken because your hopes have been dashed. Good. Now that your hopes have been dashed in the system, it's not sufficient for you to throw up your hands and be like, what can we do? And then some of you will be like, okay, we'll go and prepare for 2027. Rubbish. If you like, prepare for 2030. It's not making any difference. This man hasn't spent a year. They're already installing party loyalists inside INEC, as if they don't hold INEC already. So what are you preparing for in 2027? This is not a pro-democracy struggle. It's a liberation struggle.